Hey people, this is the Mercenary. Thought I might talk about another Gundam kit I built a while ago. This is the Master Grade Gundam Exia from Season 1 of Gundam 00. There are 3 other versions of Exia on the market in Master Grade: the Repair 1, the Repair 2, and the Trans Am version. But what I have here is the Standard Edition, for which you can get at the shop. I know it's kind of on the bland side as compared to the other 2 versions, but if you want to do some customization like what I did, Standard Edition is perfectly fine. This is a slightly vast improvement over the no grade in the same scale that was released 2 years before this version. But I can see why this kit has some problems. The arms aren't very well connected, although it looks connected from the camera. But if you take a look really closely, it doesn't have too much of a good connection. And of course, it has the ability to store the swords in the side sockets of the leg, which is a slight improvement over the no grade. Come on. I'll show you how to store those swords later, but before that, what you also get is the GN blade, its main weapon, the GN shield, short sword, long sword, and 4 beam sabers / beam daggers, which are stored in the back arm and the back skirt, if you want to call it that. The connection, the loose connection, kind of ruins some of the aestheticness to the Master Grade Exia. Now, there's difference between the version I am showing here on camera and everyone else's kit. What I did different from my kit from everyone else's kit is, as you can see really closely in the head, I did not include the yellow pieces that were supposed to be included on the side, because I wanted a amazing Exia look in the head. And as you can also see, I do not have the arm cables attached. The reason being that I wanted more mobility over being completely anime accurate. According to the source material, the cables were supposed to be inside the arm, but for whatever the reason, they were just hanging out outside the suit. Now, it comes with an action-based connector and a display base for the GN drive, if you do not want the GN drive plugged in the back of the suit. But since I liked the GN drive in the back of the Exia, I left it plugged in. The connection to the shield is perfectly fine. But you gotta be careful when you're moving it around, because it tends to knock off. The arm tends to come off easily. Balance is okay, as you can see here, but once you start stacking stuff on top of it, balance came off. There we go. Balance on it starts to seem very wobbly unless you have in some sort of different leg poses. There's a way. You could also be placed in storage mode if you don't want to use the blade. It's beam pistol underneath the blade, like in the anime. You could have the blade out, but you're not going to be able to get into all sorts of different poses just because the connection to the arm is not too good. From all the things I've done with it. Oh, and don't forget, the shoulder pads don't have a great connection either without severe modification. You can get the thing to sweep. You can get the Exia's arm to be doing the skyward sword thing, but outside of that, you're not going to get many poses with the massive GN blade. I'm gonna put it back in semi-storage mode. Now, as I said, you could store the blades, you could store the swords on joint of the leg. But if you do that, you can't get too many poses out of the leg. I'm going to take off the arm again. Long sword. It's going to go. Now, you'll need to take the blade out. You gotta be somewhat careful with connection. Although it's anime accurate without part swapping too much, still got some problems. Come on, damn it. There. One blade on. I'm going to take off the other arm. Short sword. Second one. Come on. There. Almost knocked it over there. And there you have it, a fully equipped Gundam Exia. Now, since the Exia has a bunch of balance issues and some other problems, I just decided to put it on an action base to save me all the hassle. Now, its action base connector is not really great, so I just used one of the action base connectors that came with the base action base kit. Now you'll need action base 1, and it will hook in as such. On the action base, that's where the Exia shines. Now you can do all sorts of things with the Exia that you couldn't do on the ground. See? See, the connection's not too good for being a small part. Come on. So, practically, this is the type of pose I have my Exia in on the shelf. Something like that. Anyway, with this action base, it fixes practically nearly all the problems regarding the Master Grade Gundam Exia. This is a vast improvement over the high grade, slight improvement over the no grade, but still this is going to be somewhat no match for the real grade. I wish that there's going to be a 2.0 or a Verkov for Exia in the near future, because with that they can fix up all the problems that are related to this kit. If you want an Exia that looks just like what you saw in the anime, this is the kit for you. But, as I said before, this comes with a word of warning. You still gotta do some work with this kit just to pull off some of the other poses that you see in the anime with the big giant blade. In addition, you still gotta do some additional panel lining, as seen on the shield, the legs, and the GN drive, and some parts of the head. And no, this version does not come with an LED light, as compared to the Repair 1, which does. Anyway, this is the Mercenary, and I will be signing out.